My name is Renison Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. Now, the other day, when we would have made mention of a controversial topic, we would have lost a lot of friends, because there are certain individuals that would have spoken to us and say, boy, why it is we are attacking Dr. Rudal Muniland. And the thing about it is this, in the people. We must reach the point that in spite of friend, in spite of race, in spite of what, when somebody doing something right, we deal with them and salute them. And when we know that there are certain people that is playing games with the people, in whom I and many others from the workers' rights, human rights movement pledge their allegiance to help. Because this thing is not just a movement, we just help a lot of people within the trade union, because workers' rights is also a registered trade union. Now, not straying from the topic, let me come straight back into it. We would have been in the area, Debe, talking about some of the issues that there have been plaguing the people there for so long. And there is elected members of parliament that has only come around when it's election time. The mama guy here upon our boats, the gear help, only for photo ops. We would have told you that. And no matter where you do, you can't hide the truth in it. The only thing that they could try is try to take the thing that God give me, my life, and trying to silence the truth from coming out, which is everybody right. What we are going to do here today, we are going right into the topic. See for yourself, there is a reason why we just get bad so. It's the failures of the government and both opposition. So stay tuned. The caster video is going to go next, and we will come back and we will tell you why we just get on so.
TNT, Siraj Trace. We highlighted a whole set of things here, right? We calling on the councillor, which is Kamraj. Mr. Kamraj, fix this bridge. You seeing it? You have all your villagers that voted for you complaining. Fix it. Okay? Look, watch it there. Look at it. Right? Look at it. Oh my Lord. Watch Mamu nearly fall down there. All you help Mamu there for me, please. Imagine that. If somebody passing here now, imagine they're saying and they're complaining that police are coming when they have a complaint. Ambulance are coming, like uncle nearly fall down. If he passing here any night and he fall, who it is will know that he fall. And people could die inside here and all they're not doing anything. Now is not time to help friend and family. Now is the time to help the villagers that voted for you.
Yeah, but if the money fall on there, they just know. You know, tomorrow they fix this bridge.
Yeah.
Because they admit that they had the material to fix it. You know. They admit they had the plans to fix it.
No. They said Mr. Kamraj came and he said he has the plans and he said he had the materials and everything. Just like what Mr. Munilal did together with the ministers. That's right. Why they didn't fix it? When was this that they told all of this?
Well, some years now they told us they will fix it first. And,
when they told you they have the
3 weeks ago. They told us they have the plank already fit. They're just waiting for transport to bring it.
So the excuse after a few years is they have planks, but they're waiting for transport.
They always have plank, but they never had no transport.
So they always have plank, but they never had transport. So they
Some years, no, not 1 year and 2 years, some years.
okay. So you understand this TNT? So the councillor have a plank, but yes, now we don't have any transport. So every time they complain now, they don't have transport. Just like when the person died in around Chester there, and they didn't have transport. The poor person, where the minister told them, I will help them with the funeral, but give them $100. Ebekari?
Yeah. Look to the end of the highway, how much people crash and dead and car burning down or wherever, right?
Yeah.
And buying a thing like that. Until the people to trade them here dead and lost their life, they didn't sort out the problem. So this come like the same thing here.
Yeah.
A man fall and a man dead over here. You know, tomorrow they find transport to bring the plank to fix
But
it.
they wouldn't do the end of
This
the
is
highway,
how
it's a
this place
private
run.
owner and all do that.
Yeah.
So
Government didn't do that.
we tired and fed up of these promises and lies.
Right.
That
So
will
as I
continue
telling
doing.
earlier, whoever is the councillor and the MP for Siraj Trace, we highlighting earlier, do all your job, otherwise all you will not have a job for local and general elections. We telling earlier, we come in. The Progressive Empowerment Party come in. If you
in
cannot
too.
fix it, we fixing it, and we fixing it before we come in power. So I need this done too, just like what I needed done in Chester. And we had to do it ourselves in Chester. Let me see if we have to do it again ourselves this time. Evening Trinidad and Tobago, Oropuch East, Oropuch West. We here in Siraj Trace. We highlighting the bridge here. As you can see, the bridge going on. Look at it. Look at the bridge people passing through. Now I'm not going to talk to say much. I'll let the villagers tell you what's going on here. You understand? Look at the bridge. Look at the concrete slab. Look at it. We highlighted this just for Christmas when it had the major flood in it. Look at all the bush. Right? So I want you to look at it. Now we highlighting this.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Now my name is Bikari Sigabin. This bridge that what we highlighting, I was a small fella I also walk over this bridge. Coming lately, that I was surprised to come and see this bridge in this condition, because for the longest while that I never passed through this bridge. And when I find out from the people, they would say it was just promises and lies as normal, right? Now this in a very bad condition is a hazard, because people patch it up somehow, they're driving a car, it's skidding. Again, when we have flood in Siraj Trace, we have up to neck height water in Siraj Trace. Some of the people on this side, they was use this to come out to the Suchi Trace. But the condition of the bridge is not safe for no one to walk through. So this river that you're seeing over here, the water flow reduced from Siraj Trace to this river over here. Plus it had 290-degree bend, right? So this thing had to sort out, and from here come, here go, the councillor, the MP, everybody aware of what's going on here, and just come and giving the people promises and lies and a little hamper and shutting them up with that. This is not the time for that. This is modern time, right? Politicians keep fooling the people for too much years backward from the days of independence in this country, right? And the amount of money that passed through, how much $1 trillion passed through for we to be living in this kind of condition, this kind of nature, that alone it could show that it's poor, weak management in this country, right? So it's time enough that the people open the eye, and plus that we educate the people that what politicians had done into we. Finishing the career, what about the small little children, the old people? If a scorpion sting a man on that side and they had to run you over this bridge, he shot to dead. But for them, he see this, right? So we begging how early as possible we want this work done. As well, we'll be back here. We would never lay to rest until we get it done, because it's a hazard to people's life and limb.
So we're back again here, as you see, it had a real rain. Now we have Mr. Asif and his neighbor. Right, what going on here? We under their house, but what goes on here is that as soon as the slightest rain falls, their house floods. You know why? Because it have some businessman that back up their wall and back up the drainage, so all the water stay in standstill. And there's poor people cannot afford a backhoe now to come and dig back what this gentleman has done. So I'm going to let them say their part in it. All right, Mr. Asif?
Yeah, so what's really going on with the business owner backfill his land and pull up all the existing drain. So the water can't get to go nowhere, the water keep piling up and flooding out the place. When you tell them about it, you always have something to say and you don't want to clear the drainage. So when anytime the excavator comes to clear the drainage, you always tell the excavator that deep is the land, so nobody can get to go and clean the river. So the river remain with bamboo and all kind of trees inside it. So the only problem we get here as the rainfall, if the rain falling right now, probably over the next 10 minutes, water coming up already. So that's the problem we get here. So we really need this to really fix out parts of
this gentleman in the burgundy shirt you see in here, his house since last year, December for Christmas, has been flooded out, and up to this day, it's still wet. You know why? Because they blocked the drain. Imagine he living from since then till now, just because they blocked the drain. So his house always completely having water right under where the posts are, everything rotting. Now what is this gentleman supposed to do now in his plight? Everybody is a poor man in Trinidad. Everybody catching the nenen. What are we supposed to do?
I living under the water for years, and it had a lot of alligators over there. Sometime in the night you can't come downstairs because alligator in front of your step. You cannot do nothing about it because nobody are opening the water. The businessman not opening the water for the water to flow and come out to the river, right? And I get fed up by it. I tired of it. And then you see, then you have plenty little ones. Alligator, they all over the place. And in the night you can come down. And the drainage block. The drainage block because I tried to help dig it out and I cannot do it. Because I need an excavator or a backhoe to dig out the drain for the water to come out to the main river. And I live in this condition for years.
Or you see why we just go on like this? Or you see why when we see stupidness taking place, every member of the workers' rights, human rights movement does stand up and have to speak out? Or you see a gentleman crossing a bridge, he almost fall down. And we are seeing people getting $40 and $50 and $60,000 a month to represent that same man that falling down. What do you think in terms of representation would have taken place there? For 2 years, a matter of fact, let me not go into two parties. For over 50 years, I've been representing Trinidad and Tobago. And watch the type of representation that we are getting. How much more of this will you, the people, take? Because when we start to talk here, people trying to chain oil up and tell oil, hey, what's going on? This is a UNC and a PNM country. The own oil, they're telling you, they were telling you, you know. And what we are trying to do here is to break these very chains. What they are telling you is if here is not PNM, here is UNC. You belong to a slave master. I would have telling you. They're bringing that to you. And I could prove what I'm saying from several activists on the both sides. I was even told so by a prominent man within the UNC party and the PNM. And until we get outside of that mindset, something will change in Trinidad, you know? But if we still there, like the man that fall down and almost fall to his death, and he have representation representing him, that person would have failed that individual And when you standing up and you come out of a school system and having 5 and 6 and 10 and 15 subjects and can't get work, the government would have failed you. How much more of this will you take? How much chain up you go take from your mother, your grandmother? How much more 10 days you could make in this blazing sun and you're saying down on 10 and 15 subjects? How much? Or you ain't realizing something wrong? Appealing to the base, the PNM and the UNC base. Or you ain't understanding that something is wrong? How much are you benefiting from this form of governance in Trinidad and Tobago? Who is predominantly the millionaires in Trinidad, in a country in which just the other day was Indian arrival day, in a country in which we was captured, boat race, and turned into slave? Who is reaping the benefit of these things? And how much more at this? How much more at this you want to hear? And I am calling on the true representation, people on the both sides of the fence that have their country at heart. Leave this party and them. Choose a leader from amongst yourself and let this election be an election of activism, of people that truly care for country and people. I know business if a man have a different view, you know. But I would have pledged my allegiance to truth and justice, no matter what outcome it might bring. Just the other day, you see me talking about the system without fear or favor. Many would have fallen prey to that, because from the time you start to speak out, you end up on a bulletin. You ain't understanding, no? When people start to talk the truth, certain things just follow. We know that. They kill Martin Luther. They try many times to kill Mahatma Gandhi. And who you think set him up? We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are accepting less. We are accepting poor representation. And when it is you who are listening to this now would have stopped representing your country, have you given up on the future of this country? If not, stand up now. Say something. The little bride money that has passed for election, stand up now and say no to that. And support true representation. I always put my number on the screen there, because I am open for dialogue with anybody at any point in time. But this type of representation that taking place here in Trinidad and Tobago have to stop. Understand that. So you see the man almost fall down to his death. Are you going to continue with that type of representation in Trinidad? Eh? People, if I didn't tell you before, this channel is shadow banned. It reaching more. It reaching more people that we could ever imagine. Because hundreds of people are reaching out to us. They cannot stop the work of Almighty God. And we urge the many of you, reach out to, let we make this thing stronger and better and take back our country, because they're giving it away. to the Chinese and the Syrian. And it is becoming more and more difficult for the average man to survive. Minimum wage is $17.50 an hour. What we are going on here is modern slavery. Understand that. And watch who is predominantly at the bottom. Imagine people in security work. I'm discriminating it. Saying them on 5 and 6 subjects. Some of them have 15 and 12. Some of you working in the corporation and overqualified. And this country is rich with resources. I ain't saying to take the money and give you it, but it's to create opportunity. Pump money in farming. Pump money in things that could bring this country forward. In technology, in sciences. We have the money to do so. We cannot just be a society that just consuming things, and we have governments that is not futuristic. We're 40 years behind time. And oil boom after oil boom, we still behind. And we are seeing the country is depleting all the time, and we have to save our country. The average man has to come out of the thinking that this is just BNM and UNC thing. No, we have to come out of that. We have to start to learn things like computer programming, sciences, technology. Because this technological advancement that this world is coming to, we have to keep up with this. We are too behind, and too much money is passing through our country. Later down the line, if we continue so, it can go about Trinidad. And as I say, the only time this thing here is preempted, because we are telling you that the system is flawed, and we would have pointed out many weaknesses, and which we are going to come up with next this whole week here, and show you what is taking place in the Point Fortin court. We tell you that games, the judiciary system is corrupted. Many of these government seats is corrupted. There are no transparency, no way here again. And the only how that could change is when we come together as a people. Or in realizing this system failing us, there are many activists who are being paid to manipulate you and make you feel to represent a party is the only way out, because they are getting paid. Man, call name I go whistle. Call name I go whistle. And a matter of fact, I don't want to stay too much on this because I find I overdo it. Here what's going on. Stay tuned, and we are coming with the next show. Like, share, and subscribe. My name is Wilson Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. And with that, I'm out.